Hi guys, this is Max here, back again with hopefully another great political video, and today we're going to take a look at the current state of redistricting right here in the United States of America. Now, there are a few states that already passed congressional maps, and there are a few states that submitted new proposals, and I suggest we get through them row by row. Now, first of all, North Carolina. They've ended up passing this map. North Carolina gains one additional district, and it is a Republican district. North Carolina's fourth, it is R+10. I believe the Republicans will be able to win that. Other than that, there is one less safe Democrat district. It used to be four in the old map, and now it's just three. And one likely Democrat district up here that was +7 under the old map is now just +1. Now, it does have a Democrat incumbent, but in a Republican-leaning environment, it might be actually happening that the Republicans win this. In fact, it's very likely. So North Carolina could end up with an 11-3 map, which is basically what I predicted in my North Carolina redistricting map as well. So yeah, that ended up happening. In New York, we still got two proposals, and Texas ended up certifying its electoral map. Now, everybody could see that this map is like very poorly. It looks very bad. I mean, just take a look at the fourth district. It has like a little hook that it has two little hooks that almost entirely circumvent the third. But Texas's congressional map, though be it a bad gerrymander, is still nothing compared to the Illinois map. I mean, just take a look at this shit. It's so poorly gerrymandered. Okay, district number 15 is really a complete shame. So no matter who drew this should be punched in the face if you ask me. But it's a shit map. Somebody should do something about it. It might actually end up getting struck down by the courts. Now, what do we still got? Now, in Alabama, we got a new congressional map. It basically looks almost the exact same as the old one. So I actually don't even want to go over this too long. Now, Colorado certified its congressional map, and I believe in Georgia, we still have this plan, which is a bit older, but I did not take a specific look at it yet, I believe. And it is by many ways what you suggest could be considered a dummy mander, because there are two suburban districts that are very Republican right now, but Georgia's 6th district used to be +30 Republican in 2016, and yet it went to a Democrat as soon as 2018. So it might be happening that this district actually ends up going blue. However, as of right now, it's still a very Republican favorable map, and it gives Republicans also the ability to pick up Georgia's 2nd district, which would be pretty impressive considering the large amount of black voters in there. Georgia's 2nd has a very sizable black population, so if Republicans win that, that'd be impressive. Now, Iowa passed its congressional map. It's actually not too much of a gerrymander, I should say. In fact, it actually puts the Democrat incumbent Cindy Axne is not in a worse position than she was in 2020. Her district is still +2 Republican, and yeah, now it's nominally it's one safe Republican and one likely Republican district, while it used to be just one safe Republican and three toss-up districts. But if you look at the numbers, these districts are very similar to the ones that you got right now. So there's not too much that needs to be talked about that. Now, Massachusetts congressional map. This is kind of a gerrymander, but on the other hand, in a state like Massachusetts, you don't really have to gerrymander all that much. Yeah, the old map was exactly the same, though. And again, the closest district is the Cape Cod district, I believe. So there we go. Now, Michigan still has 3 proposals. In Ohio, this is now the Republicans also submitted a few proposals in Ohio. The Democrats also submitted one, but that was never going to pass because it actually increased Democratic support in a state that is fully controlled by the Republicans. Here we got it. Yeah, we all know this map was never going to be a thing. But now we got 2 more realistic proposals. This one here is really, really an intense gerrymander. because it would bring the Democrats down to just 2 seats. And of course, Ohio is a red-leaning state, but a 2 to 13 map, that's really heavy. Now, a couple of these districts are very close, though, like the 2nd and also the 13th. So, in a good year for Democrats, it might actually end up being a 4 to 11 map, and that's the reason. But why the Republicans also created another proposal that has 2 safe Democratic districts and 1 more competitive district. So basically, the only thing that it does compared to the old map is that it takes out 1 safe Democrat district and the Republican districts stay all the same. Because Ohio lost the congressional district, Tim Ryan's running for Senate, so that's a proposal with which I could say I could live with the most because it isn't too bad. But the other one, it's really a hefty gerrymander, and it might actually end up backfiring. So if you're a Republican, I would really overthink this whole thing twice. But if you really want to go for the whole thing, I mean, yeah, that's obviously the way to go. It basically would only leave 1 safe Democrat district in Cleveland, and the rest of the state would be basically Republican, except for like Columbus, but that could, I believe, in a very good year, they could also flip. Now, by the way, in Virginia, the results of this last election probably won't have too much to do with the final proposal, which ends up getting passed, because it will get passed before the Republican governor takes office, and also, I believe, before the Republican legislature assumes their job. So that will not have too much of an effect. I do not know which one of these plans they're gonna go with, but this one seems very reasonable to me because it is fairly compact. It looks relatively similar to the old map, and it has 1 competitive district, and competitiveness is encouraged by the redistricting processing committee. Alright, now, before we go, West Virginia has certified its map. Yeah, those are just 2 districts, not very interesting, actually. And in Utah, we see that there are 3 plans currently under consideration, either giving the Democrats 1 likely or 1 safe district. I mean, I don't know what Utah Republicans are thinking right now, because they're in control of the process and they really want to give away a district to Democrats. Now, I obviously like to see gerrymandering ending, but like from a strategical perspective, they're really shooting themselves in the foot here. This map, for example, would make a whole lot of more sense, but like if they don't want to gerrymander, that's fine with me. Alright then, in Montana we got this proposal. I actually would have liked to say that this map would have been a lot better because it's more compact. Of course, this one would have had 2 safe Republican seats, but of course, that's what Montana actually is. It's a very Republican state. So you wouldn't have to, like, desperately try to find a competitive or a Democratic district just to make it fair. Montana's just a red state. And now, Oklahoma also has a proposal. They did not have that last time I checked it out, and basically the only thing it does, it makes Oklahoma's 5th district a lot more safe red because it cracks up Oklahoma City. That was basically to be expected, so nothing big happened here. And yeah, I believe that's it. Other than that, we've covered everything apart from the Oregon gerrymander, for which they used some pretty creepy backdoor shenanigans. But anyway, last but not least, I would like to say that I'm obviously, of course, opposed to gerrymandering. That shouldn't happen, but that there are like some cases like Illinois that are far worse than others, like for example Ohio. And we should consider that whenever we say they're doing gerrymandering, the Republicans do it, the Democrats do it, both do it, just some do it worse than others. Now, I hope you liked this video. Likes, comments, and subscriptions are greatly appreciated. Let me know your own thoughts on the maps that we discussed in this video. And yeah, guys, have a nice time. See you later, and Max out. Goodbye.